Hey everyone, welcome to my stream. Welcome to another video and another chapter of our Fury tank made by Tamiya. That's the Sherman EZ8. What are the numbers on this thing again? It's the M4A3E8. Let's load the intro and get started. We're moving along, we're getting stuff done, and we're almost done. Well, I say almost in that the actual assembly of the kit is almost finished. The only thing really left is to put the tracks on and then do a bunch of weathering, and that's pretty much it. You know, that's almost done. But we've encountered a little hiccup. I'm building this thing as the Fury tank from the movie Fury, right? Which means I need to add a bunch of stowage and stuff onto the back here that they have in the movie, because I want this thing to look like it does in the movie. And of course we've got logs that need to go on the sides. And like I mentioned last time, I encountered the fact that Itillery, however you pronounce that company, they make an M4A3E8 tank, and they've made it the movie version, the Fury version, which includes all of that stuff. So I went and bought it, and I have it here, right here. Okay, if I do this, you might be able to see. Yeah, it's got my Amazon package stuff on top. Yeah, Amazon was nice enough to ship it not even in an Amazon box. They just stuck a shipping label on the actual box and shipped it out like that. Thanks a lot, Amazon. That was real fun, because now I can't even look at the picture on the box and see. I can't even look at the picture on the box and see what the thing really looks like. Like, thanks. It just ruined it. Anyway, I've opened it up. I've gone through the sprues. It looks like it's a decent kit, and there's videos online of guys actually building this kit, and it looks like it's not bad. At the same time, what I've seen is Tamiya's kit does go together better. There is a couple of details that Itillery does that Tamiya doesn't, okay? For example, number one, on the top of the turret, Tamiya has one machine gun. The actual tank in the movie has two. And so, Itillery, they put two on their kit, which means I need to add Itillery's second machine gun. So, I've gone through and found out what little sprues it is and what parts, and so I've got my second machine gun. I've drilled a hole in the top of the turret where it's supposed to go, and I'm ready to install that. Okay, I have that. Excuse me. One thing that Itillery does give you is the little rope to tie your stowage down with. So that's a nice little feature they give you. They give you two different sets of tracks. Why do they do that? Well, because as it turns out, the tracks that were actually on the tank are different than the tracks that, say, Tamiya kit has, which, by the way, I've got them almost ready. I've got 2 coats of my rust effects on this, and I was ready for my third when I discovered the Itillery kit. And so I thought, well, hopefully I could use the Itillery tracks, assuming the base dimensions are such that I could actually use the tracks, because I wouldn't want to use them if they're too loose or if they're too short, and then you can't stretch them enough to actually fit on the tank. I tried it out last night. I got the tracks assembled and I put them together, because they're rubber just like the Tamiya ones, and as it turns out, they fit. So yay, I can use those. So I've already gone ahead, I put them together. Unfortunately, I've got one here that's got a pretty horrible bend in it, in the box, I guess they had slid into the edge and they were sitting like this against the edge of the box for who knows how long, and so they kind of got a permanent bend in them. I did test fit them though, and that bend kind of comes out and disappears, so I am happy about that. I've got my first coat of rust on there. I'll do my second coat in a minute here, just so we can keep moving on with this. What else? So the Tillery kit comes with all the stowage. It comes with the spare wheel on the front. We've got the spare tracks that are going to go on the front. All that fun stuff. For the most part, the kit looks like it's pretty comparably detailed to the Tamiya. There's maybe a couple of odd little things that they've done different that I would say is better than the Tamiya kit. For example, let me switch the camera so you can get a little better look at this here. We've got all these little grab handles along here. Okay, all along here, all these grab handles, and those go along on the various things like the different ports and stuff like that. They go along like right here or right here, and down on these, one would go here and here, and then on the back they go along and around these spots, right? Now we replace these ones with photo etch, and so I've got those. But the Tamiya ones, they're just a little solid little rectangle on there, whereas a Tillery actually is a handle. So that is one improvement I would say they did. Something that they did better than Tamiya on their kit. But yeah, there are a few little details on the hull. Another thing they did that Tamiya didn't do are the cover for the engine is actually see-through. You can see through it there. You see my hand going through on the overhead cam. On this cam, maybe I'd do that. You can see my white shirt through it. Yeah, so that's actually hollow. You can see through it. Tamiya's is totally solid, so that is one thing that's nicer. Our little fuel tank caps are molded on here, whereas Tamiya's you saw me put those on. Their texture on this section here is pretty much the same as everywhere else. I would say that's definitely Tamiya's got them on that. This little section detail here is not as nice as Tamiya. They've got a couple of little rectangles here and an outline of the machine gun. The machine gun for the front, you actually assemble the whole machine gun, so you actually have the detail on the inside. You've got the full gun on that. It's neat, but it's kind of useless when you put your covers on and you no longer see it, right? I would say that they do, for some reason, they have you cut these fenders off and replace them with different fenders that stick out, and then you have to assemble your skirts, and they don't go on quite as nicely as what the Tamiya one is. The Tamiya is like a nice, perfect, solid fit that you're not going to screw up any angles. They have no detail on the sides. Tamiya had those little tiny punches for you to line up all of the braces that go along the side, and these guys have nothing. This is just perfectly smooth. So yeah, and they've got a little outline here for where you put that tire wrench or whatever that thing is. Yeah, so it's just these little minor differences that not really a very big deal in the grand scheme of things, but it does make that slight little difference, right? I think you put these two you get them assembled and painted and weathered and stuff like that side by side, you're probably not going to notice that much difference, right? But I have seen at the front here, when you meet your two pieces of the hull, the upper and lower together, you have that rib that goes along here. They've put this on as a third piece that you have to put on there, and I watched a couple of videos. Caesar, yeah, it is a tank kit. I've seen guys have struggle with a gap there, where the Tamiya one, well, other than that piece that I had sticking in there that was forcing it back, maybe I put it on wrong, I really don't know. That went together fine. I've got no gap at all. I didn't have to put any filler or nothing. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Maybe it doesn't work out that great and doesn't look that good for you, and maybe it does. Okay, anyway, I've given this some time to dry, so I'll get my second color and my second layer of rust on there. Does the wheel moves? Haven't built any vehicle yet, just Gunpla enjoyer for now. Yeah, the wheels do turn. The wheels are all free. They do spin, although with the friction that you do get, your front and your rear ones, they've got polycaps in them, so they don't spin that easy. And then of course, by the nature of rubber tracks, they're going to be hard to turn a little bit. You could if you want to, but I really wouldn't recommend trying to play around with it and treat it like a Hot Wheels car or anything like that, right? Okay, so this is the way I'm going to do this. I'll switch my camera so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. And let's do this. Alright, so with the second layer of rust, let me just put this down here. The second layer of rust, you don't want to put it all everywhere. This is going to be a little bit more, just a little bit more refined. Okay, so I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to squeeze a little bit out and do that along there. I'll do some on the inside. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of brush it around a little bit. This is going to give a little bit of a different variation in the colors and be not quite so going everywhere, right? Interesting. I'll be watching you at the same time I build. Okay, cool. So you can do a little bit more, just a little bit spotty. Just a little here and there. We don't want it everywhere because that's not realistic. We're just saying, hey, some spots have had the rust on it a little bit longer, and that's all you need to do. Okay? And that's the point of this. Just some spots here and there. Brush it on, let it go where it wants to go, and that's where we're going to leave it. Okay? Just like this. Done with this section. Yeah. This one's about done. So I've got one section here on the inside that I didn't really get to, so I'm just going to go around my wet brush and kind of darken it up in some spots. But for the most part, the inside's not going to get seen very much. Okay, that one's done. Move on to this one. Now, if you happen to drop a big blob of it somewhere, don't worry about it, because you can just blend it in, mix it around. It doesn't really matter. It's all fine. It's all good. It's all good. Oop. because it's all about randomness. You want a little bit of randomness on this. Okay. Randomness is the key. So you get a lot in one spot, and you get a little in another. That's perfect. That's what you want. Okay. Now I'm kind of going not really very random on the inside of the track. It's more on the outside. Because at the end of the day, when I'm all done, there's going to be a lot of mud on the tracks. This tank was really dusty and dirty, and they were not shy about that in the movie. And even you look at pictures online of the museum piece, they basically just left it all muddy, or not even muddy, it's just covered in dust, really dry mud and dust everywhere. And yeah, okay. So this one's done. Just going to turn it around and make sure I got it all on the inside here. The next step on this one is literally just going to be splattering and not even really brushing it around. Alright, there we go. I've got orange fingers from touching the wet tracks, but that's all part of the job. Clean this up. Okay. So there is step 2 done. Okay. That's step 2 of the track wash. Now for the ones that actually go on the hull, they don't look very rusty at all they don't look rusty in the movie. They don't look rusty in any of the reference photos that I have. They look dusty. If anything else, if nothing else, they look dusty, and that's it. So today I wanted to focus on assembling the stowage pieces for all the stuff that goes on the back of the tank. And for that I need to reference our Italeri kit instructions. Bingo, this guy here. It's kind of nice they have color photos at the back. Unfortunately they are really dark color, but they do show you the actual Fury and give you an idea of how to paint the black and green camouflage. I showed you that when I spray painted the tank, when I gave it the color, because I went online. You can get this manual online on ScaleMates, and I printed out a couple of colors, and I printed them out light enough. As you can see, they're much lighter than the actual one, so I could see the camo pattern a little bit easier. And yeah, so let's find in the book where we're doing some stowage stuff. Let's see here. Let's get to the front of the book. Alright, I want to assemble stowage. So the kit pretty much goes together the similar fashion as the Tamiya. They add a few extra parts for unknown reasons to make it a little more complicated. Like the suspension pieces are like a couple of extra pieces to put on there. That the Tamiya kit is a little more simple. I'd say it's a little ridiculous compared to the Tamiya one. The Tamiya tracks, I'll mention this again, the Tamiya tracks, you glue those together with just regular model glue, but Italeri wants you to glue it with CA glue. So I glued theirs together with CA glue instead of regular hobby glue. There's the different skirts. The skirts are actually 3 different pieces on each side. Again, why? Right here, I'll show. I'm going to switch camera, you guys can see. Even though this isn't the Tamiya one, it's still Fury. Here's the example of those handles I told you about that go on the covers, right? They actually got inner and outer handles. So if you want it displayed open, you can do that. It's kind of neat. There's that 3rd piece that goes on the front there. Again, why? I don't know. It's got all the same shovel, spade, axe, pry bar, this bar, the hammer, and that bar, lights, and their guards, and the big loops that go on the backs. It's all very similar stuff, right? Same as Tamiya, except of course our front here and these fenders that have to go on there. These 3 pieces. We've got all of our little braces that go along there, along the sides. Our little rack on the back is the same. They have the fenders, the rear fenders, that Tamiya kit does not have. I actually don't like these ones because they don't look like the ones that are actually on the tank. The real tank, the corners are not rounded, and on the real tank, the fenders look like they are vertical, straight up and down, 90 degrees on the back, and these are like at a 45-degree angle or something like that. They really are angled back, and yeah, I don't like them. Next, we've got assembly of the turret. They add the dust protective shroud, if that's the way you want to go and you're not actually building the Fury version. The Fury version does not have this. Turret goes together just like the Tamiya. It's 2 pieces, same thing. They do have some added little bits that go along around the turret, around the mantlet though, that the Tamiya kit doesn't have. So I'm not sure what this is all about, and I don't know if the actual Fury tank has them. I'm not going to bother, and I've already assembled mine and and painted it and everything like that, so I'm not going to bother with this part. I don't care. Again, with the turret now, we've got some stowage on here, so it looks like these don't actually get assembled at all. These bags, and they just go on the side of the turret. So we got to find, I guess, off of our D tree. I'm gonna find my D. Where's my D? Let's reach into the box and find the D. What tree is this one? You know, they've made it kind of difficult to figure out which tree this one is. What sprue is this? Unless it was on a section here. I don't know. Anyway, I've got a couple of bags, jerry cans. I've got a full-on machine gun there. That's probably the one that Brad Pitt made the guy shoot that one guy with. Anyway, there's our machine gun for the front of the tank that you kind of assemble in a couple of pieces here. Yeah, I guess I'm going to need these. I don't know if this is the D tree. What numbers are those? 98 and 99. Well, they're not those anyway. So, yeah. So anyway, whether that's a D tree or not, I don't know. I think this might be... Yeah. Okay, so here's our D tree. So we've got some crates. We've got more jerry cans. The difference between the jerry cans here and... Let me see if I can figure out which one. Now that I've painted all my jerry cans, I'm not sure which ones were the Tamiya ones. Because, well, actually... You know what? Technically, they are all Tamiya. They are all Tamiya. Because they're just from 2 different kits. They're the exact same molds though. But that being said, I think the Tamiya cans look just a little bit better. It's kind of funny. They have molded in here USA, and QMC at the bottom there. USA and QMC. Whereas the Tamiya ones, it just says US and nothing on the other side. It only says US, not USA. So I don't know which one is accurate or not. Anyway, so we need 17 and 23. So let's grab these guys. 17 and 23. That's this one. 17. And 23. Okay. 17, 23. And on the other side, we need 16 and 23. So 16. It's a slightly smaller one. Okay. Oh, look, our logs. I think what I want to do is I want to primer all this stuff. One thing that is kind of funny, we actually get the bucket. We got a bucket here. I'm going to primer this. I'm going to just spray all this with some Mr. Surfacer 1500. Unfortunately, when I do that, you guys won't be able to see all the detail very well. And that's kind of, I have to apologize now with that. So, but it's a necessary thing for me to do. So, I will just quickly spray some primer down on the rest of these. Now for these parts, it's not, it's not life or death if you get them primered first. It's just, primer just helps. For these small parts, primer's not critical, in my opinion. It helps for uniformity and keeping continuity in how the paint looks on everything. See what I mean now? Now you can't really see very much. You can because it's glossy, it's wet still, but yeah. I'll do that on these other ones. Of course, our helmets and buckets are 3D, so you gotta make sure you get every side. Okay, so I want to clean these up and I want to see how they're gonna fit. Okay, because these are not made for the Tamiya kit, they're made for the artillery kit. So I don't know. See, they're nicely curved. They've got them curved to fit the side. But like I said, they're made for a different kit. And so I'm not sure if they're really gonna fit nice, or if they're, I mean, something like bags, they shouldn't fit flush. They're, you know what I mean? But if they're meant to be like hanging off somewhere, that's another thing I don't like. These bags are just literally hanging off the side. There's no loops, there's no ties, there's nothing. They just hang in there. Let's get my turret off of here. So this one, this is the bigger, slightly bigger one, right? I think. No, this one. This one's supposed to go here. The contour does fit pretty good, so I can't complain about that. And then our 3, so we've got our little loop there, and then we've got 3 bags are supposed to go like this. And this. And then a 3rd one goes underneath. And then this goes on there. Like that. Just like that. And that's the thing I don't really like so much. Is there's nowhere that's like, what are the straps attaching it to? You know what I mean? It's weird. And then this one goes on here like this. Again, it fits the contour nicely. Can't really complain about that. Fits good. I don't think it fits any better or worse than on the artillery kit. It's just there's no place where are these straps? How are they being held? How's it being held on? I don't know. Do I really care? When it's sitting on my shelf, does it really matter? That's a question you need to ask yourself. I want to spray paint my little gun here. I want to get this guy black. Let's get him painted black. So that he's ready to go on. There we go. We got a little black gun now instead of green. And I gotta paint these. Took them off the sprue and then decided, hey, I need to prime them. So I will do this. Grab this. Grab my little that. This. While I'm at it, I'll prime the spare tire or spare wheel. Okay. There we go. We're all black now. I can show you guys a really good example of why you should have good ventilation in your room wherever you're spray painting. Here's a perfect example of overspray. See that black on there? That is just overspray from me spray painting primering these spare parts. It's just, I can just dust it off and I got overspray. It's just overspray. That's something that's in the air, that's sticking to everything, right? Okay, so letting this stuff dry a little bit. I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need these other 2 bags. Now the one thing I want to do, I kind of want to paint a base coat of the brown. These are all brown, right? None of the stowage bags are green, they're all brown. I need to paint those. I have to figure out what different shades of brown I want. But I want to assemble, before I paint anything, I want to assemble the crates. See, we've got a bunch of crates that are going to go on the back here. Right? Well, I even got the 2x4 or the 4x4 that goes in the front. We have 2 different options here. We either use a piece of wood or we use a square block that is done. But it seems like every time there's an alternative alternative here on the kit, it means that's the one that's not the Fury version. And so we're going to use this one, 31D. So D is on that. It's on the D tree, and there are two of them. And this is it here. This guy here. And it's got the wood texture, the wood grain that looks good. And it's on both sides. So I will be using that, but I got to paint that brown also and try and make that look like wood. All of these little details, but I want to assemble the crates. So we've got 4 crates to assemble. We've also got some cans. I don't remember cans being on the tank in the movie. Let me look at my reference photos to see if cans go on the back. So I don't remember seeing cans. It seems like just bags and the crates, the ammo crates, the food crate, but no, I don't see any cans. There's a spool of wire, but that's it. I don't see any cans. So I'm going to say there are no cans. Oops, I got rid of my picture. Oops. Oh no, I didn't. It's still there. Anyway, there's no cans on the back. So although there are, you can build a couple of cans, there are none. There is a bucket though, and there's this like soft can. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what this thing is, but there is one of those hanging on there, and you use a cotton wire to make a handle. Okay, so anyway, let's start on this. I don't need to make jerry cans because I already have them, but let's go with 24 and 25 off of our D tree. 24 and 25 are these two. Okay, so we'll do that twice. All right. I have to, the nature of these didn't let me get in there with the nippers. In fact, with my nippers, I accidentally cut off that edge. But that's all right. That's quite all right. Okay, and then it's kind of funny, you know. It's how long have I been streaming here already? It's been 40 minutes, and I'm finally getting to the point where I'm actually gluing something. Okay, so let's make sure I got the correct two together here. Does not look like I do. The fit is not the best at all. Oh, you want to go on the floor, do you? I guess he doesn't want to be put on the tank. Now I need my flashlight. Because I don't know where he fell. And he's black. So... He really tried to hide. He was like, no, I don't want to go on. I don't want to go on. Don't put me on there. Yeah. Okay. These need to be cleaned up. A little bit of flashing around the holes. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what these are supposed to be. Some kind of a soft bucket of some sort. I'm not sure. And I've got two because I've got two sprues that are identical, but I don't know if there's actually supposed to be two of these on the tank or not. But doesn't matter, I've got two of them. So there they are. That's those. Next, we'll do our actual buckets, our real buckets, 29 and 27. Getting the handle off of here might be a bit challenging. There we go. I think I only need one bucket. I think I only need one. I could be wrong. I'd have to check photos again, but I'll worry about that later. Hopefully, next time I'll have these all painted and ready to go so that we can just put them on and install them next time. Cleaning this part up is going to be hard without breaking the handle. And I'm sorry if you cannot see what I'm doing. It is, I have to kind of reinforce it and hold it while I'm shaving this nub out of it. Don't go heavy-handed trying to do it all at once. I'm talking to myself as much as you in this. I want to be careful. And not break this. I think I got it cleaned up good enough. Two little notches on the end of it for it to go in. If you can get it lined up. It doesn't really slot in, so I'm going to use, I can't put it on and let it go, so I've got to put glue on the tips of the handle. That. And there's our little handle, or a little bucket, I mean. Okay, there's that guy. Now, that together, we've got a sack here we need to do. Pull this down. We've got to assemble the two pieces of this particular bag, 98 and 99. So let's find those. Those are also, oh, those are for the A tree. So this is the A tree, even though I can't find the A anywhere. But we need 98 and 99. Another thing we need is this great big cable going along here. Remember, I kind of already made a cable right here. I made this one. This is way too short. So I'm going to use this cable. Even though it's plastic, it's not real cable. That's fine. So this particular bag is unique in that there's only one of them. Wrong way. You know, guys, some guide pins or something that would be nice so that you can line it up instead of just like this. This is dumb. Especially when you guys can't even mold it. It's not even molded right. It's ridiculous. If I do it this way, it's kind of the same. It almost doesn't matter which way you do it. It's gotta go like this. Anyway, let's put some glue on there. And kind of get this lined up. I'm gonna have to clean this up a little bit because I get this edge lined up here, then I've got some terrible edges across here that I need to shave down. It doesn't look very good. It doesn't look like a rolled up bag. I don't know if it's supposed to be a roll or what. Could be a roll, I don't know. Anyway, onto the crates. Let's get 21 and 11, okay, on our crates here. So here's 11. Where's 21? This guy here. Talk about trying to make it simple for you. They've gone to the length of molding a four-sided box for you. Why would they do that? They could do two sides, and I'm sure that would be an easier sculpt, an easier process for them to do. Especially because we've got a parting seam that goes all the way around the box, and that's not very sightly. Doesn't look very good. So I'm kind of purposely getting rid of that seam at the same time that I'm getting rid of these nubs. As you can see, as I scrape, the You can see the paint I'm taking off by doing that to get rid of that parting line. I need a sip of coffee. Finish my coffee here. Okay, that one's done. Second one done. Third one done. And fourth one done. Okay. So, they do show a couple of notches where you can line these up. So I don't know if it actually works. Doesn't matter which, it doesn't appear to matter which side you use. So dab, put glue in there. Done. What I do want to mount, oops, that didn't do very good at all. I'll use thin. As I was about to say, there is, I guess it's supposed to, a grab handle on here. I want to make sure I have it in the same direction. It's not perfectly centered, it's a little further to one side, so I want to make sure that's the same on both sides. Like this. And I'll just use my thin. There we go. So there's that one. Let's throw these out. Okay. And same thing with this guy. Okay, there's that one. Handle is facing that direction, and so do the same with this. I would say that the straps that they're trying to portray on these that go around this crate are a little bit thick. I'd say if you're good with sculpting balsa wood and using little photo etch brass strips, you could probably make a pretty decent box in comparison to that. But if you're like me and you're not a good sculptor, that'll do you. Okay, so then we got these ones. Now see, these ones they did 4 different sections, so why did they do that with these? Anyway, number 4 and 5, and we want 10. So let's take a look. That's these. Bing, 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 I imagine. Yeah, 4, 5, and 10. Oops. Okay. And of course we got 2 of them, so I want to keep them separate because I don't know if 4 and 5 are actually different sculpts. They might have guide pins on them. I'll find out in a second. Yeah, so we got pins and then we got holes. Okay. I'll glue them together first. It's actually a tight fit. Since I've got my knife in my hand, I'm just gonna clean these up. Clean them all up before assembly. Okay. And also, where my nub marks are, or where my nubs are, I need to clean those. Okay. Now these look like they're also got little handles in a certain direction. So based on what they're showing me on here, so one side has hinges and a latch. Okay, so with that side up, we want our little loops to be going like this. It looks like it's a rope handle, or it's supposed to be. And we're gonna go bing, put that on there like that. That's supposed to fit in the slot, it looks like. No. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do with... There we go. It's actually a very tight fit. Fits in there nice though. Looks good. I do like the assembly of these. It looks good. My latch facing up. I want my loop facing down. There we go. There we go. There's one crate. Done. Okay, let's put these two together. I don't think it matters whether you have it like this or like this. I don't think that matters. The bottom of the crate looks like it's just kind of generic. At least it does to me anyway. Okay, so here's our top. Like I said, it's a tight fit, so it holds it for you while you glue it. It's nice. I like these crates. These crates are good. As long as I get... There we go. Okay. Our crates are done. Bing, bing, bing. Just like that. Oh, we've got ammo crates too. That's awesome. Right. Okay, we've got those. 14 off of our E tree. 13 and 14. Where's my E tree? Let's see. Where's E? Where's my E tree? these guys here. Do. Yes. Nice. Okay. That's something I was hoping to find because they're a little bit difficult to find. And I wasn't quite sure if this kit actually had them or not. And it's a happy discovery for sure. There we go. Okay. Awesome. I didn't know I had these. And I'm sick and tired of having to lift up my glasses, so I'm going to change them. Might be a little bit late for me to do this, but it is what it is. Let me check something here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to assemble these guys. And then I gotta get going. Our little ammo crates, that's cool. These guys, they sit on the back. Yeah, see, they got these two soft buckets, so I did need to make two of them. So that's good. And still another one of these? How many of those did I have? Anyway, ammo crates. These ones are kind of an up and down. Like that. Alright. There's one. Trying to stick to my finger. Don't let me go! Don't let me go! Alright. Then this. And there's two. Bing and bang. Okay. Now I think these are going to sit on the back of the tank, and I think they're going to sit on top of each other like this. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. They actually want these sitting on the front. Side by side. Not on top of each other, but side by side like this. Right there on the front of the tank. I don't remember those sitting there on the actual tank. I know some sit back here. See, they've got 3 jerry cans right there. But there's more. See, although they've done a good job, but there are a few things that they've missed. Okay? Because there's a couple of boxes that sit on that back rack, and not just 3 jerry cans. Right? Yeah, there's more than just 3 jerry cans that go on the back of that. So, yeah, I need to, that's why I have all these little cardboard ones, because these cardboard crates are going to go on the back. And I've got ammo cans, I've got spare stuff to represent the proper things that are supposed to go. Anyway, yeah. So I will assemble 2 more of these, but I gotta get going. That's gonna be it. Okay. That's basically gonna be it for today, guys. Except I did want to show you guys before I leave. I wanted to finish off the tracks and get that rust done. I wanted to show you guys exactly what I'm going to do. So let me get the tracks again. And we're going to do our final dark rust on the track. So let's move these out of the way. Okay. And I'm going to use a little bit of a stiffer brush. I'll use this guy here. This is my cleaning brush, kind of. Okay. I'm going to use that. Okay. Get that paint shaken up here. Okay. And I'll change the camera back and I'll show you. Okay. So, let's get this inner spot. And I'm going to need a couple of things. I'm going to need one extra piece. I'm going to grab an old piece of sprue. That'll work. Okay. And put some paint on my brush. Okay. And I'm going to get my tracks, and I'm going to put my tracks in this kind of position. And I'm going to flick paint down. This is messy, okay? But that's kind of the point of this. We're splattering the paint on, and that's it. Get some more wetness on my brush. This is kind of a I would say it's a technique that maybe takes a little bit of time to finesse if you're not that good at it. And as you can see, you get splatters everywhere, right? So let's move to a different section just by rotating it like that. Don't want to do too far. There we go. Now, should I be wearing a white shirt when I do this? Probably not, because I don't want to splatter on my shirt. But I'm also not flicking super hard. But as you can see, I'm getting splatters way over here in spots I'm not anticipating at all. Not really trying to get at all. Okay, now you see I got a good drop in there. Doesn't matter, that's fine, because randomness is what we're going for. Randomness is what we want. Kind of missed a spot back here. No, I got it good. Okay, let's rotate one more time to make sure. Yeah, we're doing good. I've got a little spot there I kind of missed. Yeah, I just need a little section here is all I need. Actually paint this on in here, Got a little spot, kind of where I missed with the rust. Oops. There we go. Now you notice I don't have any on the inside, and that's okay. I don't really care so much about the inside. What I can do for the inside of the tracks is just kind of go in some spots like this. Now another thing, I'm gonna do a little bit different technique on the inside of the tracks. I'm gonna get my what do you call it? What am I? I'm drawing a blank here. My graphite pencil. I've got a graphite pencil that is going to cover up a lot of this rust stuff on the inside. From what I've seen on the actual tank in the reference photos, there's not really a lot of rust on this thing anyway. It's not like an old abandoned German tank or anything like that. So I don't think it's anything to worry about as far as, oh, you got too much rust on there, or you don't have enough, or that kind of a concern, right? It's just about getting a bit of randomness. I also don't want too much of the gray showing because, well, you know, tracks aren't exactly something that they really cared about so much, other than, you know, they work. If it works, don't worry about it. Anyway, that's it. Done. Okay. That is done. That is finished. Let's dry off that so I can put it on my desk again. Okay. Now again, the color on my camera is not that great. This camera kind of represents the color a little bit better. If I could get that on there. It is a little bit more realistic, right? Represents more of what it actually looks like to my eye. I don't want to go darker. I do have a darker red, and I need to turn this down. I do have a darker red that I could use. If I was doing an older tank, or a tank that's been sitting a lot longer, or it's seen a lot more use and stuff like that, it could go with an even darker red to show even older rust. But I don't want to do that because I just wanted to do this for spots where I don't have mud. You're going to see a little bit of that realistic, rusty kind of stuff. Anyway, I wanted to get that done. I wanted to show you guys a finished product of the tracks. Fortunately, I got none on my shirt, so that's awesome. With that, I'm going to leave it for today, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching, and thanks for coming out. Down in the description box below, you're going to see some links to my Instagram and my Twitch, and you can follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to me on Twitch, that would be even better. But hit that like button, hit subscribe down below. Check out my Instagram. You can see still pictures of all my stuff I've built in the past. Every time I finish a project, I take a few pictures and I put it on my Instagram. Anyway, hit that like. Leave me a comment down below if you feel like to. And yeah, we're gonna see you all on the next one.